Welcome back to the Falcon Dive, everyone. We're so glad you made it here today. We have some wonderful special guests from our animal science department joining us on the show today.
Woo!
Live from one of our campus lab farms. So, Casie and Rachel, would you go ahead and introduce yourselves?
Hi, I'm Rachel Howe. I just finished my junior year here at River Falls. I'm doing the 3+1 program, so I will be attending vet school in the fall. That is an animal science major, and I'm an equine emphasis.
And I'm Dr. Casie Bass. I'm one of 4 equine faculty members within the Animal and Food Science Department.
John, hold up. Rachel, no, you went way too fast over the fact that you're already going to vet school. Congratulations. Can you or Casie, can you explain what the 3-1 is? I know that's kind of a common question. Can we talk about that quick?
Go ahead.
So the 3+1 program, I actually did not know about it until like my first semester of junior year. So I came in as an animal science major, and with those classes, they try and help you get through your undergrad faster to become a vet faster, because there is a lot of lack of specifically meat animal vets. So the 3+1 program is at River Falls, you'll get a lot of your gen eds taken care of, and your basic like intro level classes. And then your last year of undergrad, you can kind of skip at River Falls. And so I will go to Madison for my first year of vet school, and those classes will transfer over as my final animal science classes. So I will be getting my bachelor's degree after my first year of vet school.
So proud of you.
Yeah.
Yes.
This is kind of an added question, but can you tell us at all what the process was like working towards vet school?
It is since I was 5, I've been working towards this. I don't want to discourage anyone from like thinking last minute they want to try and get into vet school, because that's also very doable. But I've always worked with animals. Like every job I've ever had, even if it paid less than something else, I took it because I wanted to get the animal experience. I wanted to see what I liked. In high school, I did a youth apprenticeship. I was lucky to be a part of the youth apprenticeship program, which was new at my high school. I was really close with the the teacher that did that. So I actually worked part-time as like credits my senior year in high school. So I worked at a vet clinic. I would leave school early and go work at a vet clinic, and I had to hit certain points to like get my credits. So I worked at a small animal clinic, and I thought I would hate it. And I actually loved it. I loved the interaction with the clients, and I loved working with their pets, and like it was like a family. So I loved that, and I thought I would hate it. And then I came here and I did a lot of the repro work, and again, like that was something that I also really loved. So I was always working with animals, always, and I was studying. Some of my friends would like go out on the weekend, and I'd be like, no, I need to stay and study. Not that you should always turn fun things down for studying, but I always worked really hard. The application process too is also very overwhelming, but once you get through it, it's good.
And I would say Rachel has, and it really does take that for a pre-veterinary student. It takes a tremendous amount of dedication. Like Rachel said, when others were going out and doing fun things, she was having to study. And I would say Rachel has a phenomenal work-life balance. She's been the captain for the hunt seat team. So she's in that.
Rachel!
I know. She's participated in different kinds of student organizations. She's volunteered her time places. So she has worked so hard, and it has clearly paid off because she got into vet school a whole year early.
Amazing. Rachel. Girl, the compliment is yours. You've done the work.
Thank you.
Nice.
John, we forgot fun facts.
We forgot fun facts. We got to have each of you share.
Let's talk about you.
Yes.
You want fun facts from us?
Yes. A fun fact about yourself.
Oh gosh.
Okay. I think one of the cool things that I've done in the past, I think it's cool. In between my master's degree and my PhD, my husband and I spent 7 months in Brazil. And I did research down there, and my husband taught English as a second language. And we went from tropical Brazil, every day was 85 degrees. And then we moved to Fargo, North Dakota. And that's where I got my PhD. So we went from, Brazil to Fargo, North Dakota.
Wow. That's an abrupt change.
Yeah, sounds not fun.
It was a very drastic change, yes.
Yeah.
Love it. Rachel?
Okay, kind of fun, kind of not. It's kind of, it's
Nice!
River Falls, but I actually only applied to River Falls for my undergrad. I didn't apply anywhere else because I knew I wanted to come here.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Okay, sorry, John. Now we're ready for the first one.
Now we are.
Awesome. Now we're good.
Yes. So could you just share a little bit about the animal science program at UWRF? What makes it unique?
I think students who choose to earn an animal science degree here at UWRF really do gain an invaluable degree. We have about 20 full-time animal science faculty members, and I think our approach to teaching is twofold. We want our students to gain the scientific understanding of nutrition and physiology and breeding and health and the overall management of whatever species they're working with, right? Whether that's companion animals or large ruminant species, hogs, chickens. But the second part that we really push students to experience is the first-hand experience they get at the farms. We have over 400 acres dedicated between two farms. Yeah, that's where we keep, the majority of our animals that students are working with. We have a dairy, a fully functioning dairy, a dairy processing plant, a meat processing facility. The Man Valley Farm is also home to the St. Croix Valley Bull Test Station. So our students leave here with their degree, I think, very easily being able to transition into a career in animal science. They've already been doing what they're going to do in a career while they've been a Falcon with us.
There's so many animals on this campus. Casie, Rachel, how many animals total do we have?
A lot.
Yeah, it's a lot. So total numbers of animals, I don't know. I can't tell you though what critters we have here.
Yes.
So I mentioned the Man Valley Farm. So there we have a beef cattle, and we have we have like finishing lots there. We have, like I mentioned, a dairy herd. So and the dairy is there as well. We have hogs, sheep, goats, and chickens. Did I mention hogs? And we have, and then we also have on the other farm, we have all of the horses. So we have between 50 and 60 university-owned horses at the equine farm. And then we can't forget, we also have a companion animal program. So and I'm sure you all have heard of that, where we have the ADEPT program, the assistance dog education program and training. So we also have quite a few dogs that are on campus as well.
All right. And would we say at all that there is a favorite class that students really enjoy taking? Rachel, I feel like you're going to tell us your personal fave, but Casie, is there one you're seeing a lot too?
Yeah.
You go first.
I definitely think in general, as an animal science major, you are in a lot of animal classes, and those animal classes have labs, and I am always hands-on. And that's always my favorite part. So I honestly want to say all my animal science lab classes are my favorite classes. But if I had to specifically pick, I think as a younger student, my favorite class was the Intro to Animal Science. Okay, Intro to Animal Science class. And that was like each week we focused on a different species. So like one week we got to learn how to handle sheep. And then another week we learned about pigs or horses or beef or dairy. Like it was different each week, or companion animals. And that gave you kind of a touch of everything, and it made you see what you maybe didn't like and what you did like, and so that was really cool. My upper level classes, I'm really into the reproduction of animals. So I was in another class that we learned, again, different species and their reproductive tracts and how we manage breeding, and also how that works into the industry.
Then the one that specific to equine students, or the equine program, there's what's called the Colts in Training program. Yeah. And so every spring we bring about between 45 and 50 2-year-old horses. They come in from all over the US. Some of them have never even had halters on. They're basically untouched. They come in and each horse is paired with a student in the Colts in Training class. And under the direction of Nathan O'Connor, they start these horses under saddle. They basically get 100 days under saddle. And then these horses are sold. It's always the first Saturday in May. And they're sold at in the Colt sale. And those horses have gone all over the world. And they're horses that are started by our UWRF students. So that's a class that a lot of students are interested in taking.
A classic, if you will.
Yes, absolutely.
All right. So lots of talk about internships and research right now at university. So could either of you share some opportunities within the animal science department that our students have within internships and research?
Sure. I'll maybe start this one out and then Rachel can talk about her experiences because she's done research with a couple of different professors now. So we really do push in our program for students to utilize as many of the resources provided to them as possible. And two of the things that we really enjoy are research and studying abroad. And so when it comes to the research, it really depends on what the student wants to do. A student can pair up with the ERSCA office and actually write a grant, which I know sounds scary, but I promise it's not. It's like a 1 to 2 page, really simple form, basically, where they're describing what it is they want to do research in. It could be anything they want. It could be nutrition, maybe looking at a dewormer for an animal. It could be any species. Yeah, it's whatever they're interested in. So they fill this out. They pair up with a professor. So again, it could be any professor within the department. And then if they get that grant, they actually can pay themselves to do research. So yeah, and then they obviously can run the whole research project. Students can also, so maybe sometimes students are like, I don't want to write a grant, or maybe I don't have time to lead a whole project. No worries. Many of the professors have different types of projects going on. Mine, for example, go on during the summertime. So students are maybe they're administering different hormones to animals. Maybe they're collecting blood, they're collecting some kind of data. So again, they can be a part of that team without necessarily running the project themselves. So there is a full range that students can do. It's whatever they're interested in.
Awesome.
Yeah. And so I got to be a part of that. I'm running my 3rd summer of helping Dr. Bass with her research. And that was something that going into undergrad, I never really thought I would be interested in. And that definitely got me interested. And I learned a lot about, again, reproduction with equine species. I also got to work with another professor where I did nutrition with pigs, with baby piglets. So that was also something that was like completely different and really nice to just kind of get that experience. So it's the research that goes on in this university is awesome. Like you can start your own and you can pay yourself, or like working with other professors. And also I want to touch on the internships. There's always internships available. It's crazy. Like professors and advisors are always trying to update you and try and get you involved. And that's also a really good way of finding jobs for after undergrad.
Totally. That's awesome. Sounds like a great addition to your already awesome education.
Yeah.
It's good stuff. Sorry, I'm like wildly impressed right now. Okay, my bad. All right. So would we say, have you seen, Casie, maybe more directly at you with helping students, any fun combinations of majors or minors or specific emphasis areas?
So I'll tell you, one of the popular ones are students, our animal science students, and they're minoring in ag business. So most of our animal science students go on to either own their own businesses or they're working for other businesses, right? Whether it's a veterinary business, maybe they're opening a training or boarding facility, running a kennel, farrier, meat quality assurance, whatever it is they're choosing to work in. They're either running their own business or they're working for a business. So minoring in ag business is really, really popular. The other one, I guess I would say that's specific to equine, there's a growing industry for using horses as therapy animals. And so I have several students who are equine students that are minoring in psychology. That's another, and that's one that I've just finished up my 5th year here at UWRF, and that's one that's grown since I've been here. Equine students minoring in psychology.
All right. Could you share with us what some of your graduates are doing, what kind of jobs they might hold or where they're at?
Yeah, so I'll mention my equine graduates first, and then I'll talk about like the animal science program overall. So again, my specialty is reproductive physiology. And so I always steer my students towards reproduction because I think it's so awesome. So I have several students who have gone on to graduate school, whether that be veterinary school or, going on and earning a master's or a PhD after their bachelor's degree. So I have several students who have done that. I have students who are working as breeding managers for different equine facilities, different horse farms, and everywhere from the East Coast to California. They're all over the US. Mm-hmm. And then as far as our animal science students as a whole, it really depends on the student. Our students and I feel like oftentimes students say, I want to get a degree in animals. I want to work with animals, but I don't know what careers there are. It absolutely depends on what the student is interested in. Again, they can go on to graduate school, veterinary school. They might, we have things like artificial insemination technicians, poultry hatchery managers, dairy foremen, again, different kinds of quality assurance, meat quality assurance, egg quality assurance, different kinds of training. Right? This is another booming thing, not just training horses, but training dogs, running kennels, boarding facilities, groomers. It is so vast. And again, it just depends on what the student is interested in doing. And again, we have graduates in all of these different areas.
Okay, now the time is here for some fun get to know you questions. Yeah, get ready. So we'll start with Rachel.
Oh no.
A fitting question, I think. What is your spirit animal and why?
Spirit animal.
Making you think.
Yeah. For some reason, a penguin came to mind. The first thing I thought of was a penguin. I don't know. They're just cool and flop around and
they are cool critters. They literally are. They live in the Arctic.
Yes,
yeah,
exactly.
Do you know how many people are going to be so bummed you didn't say a horse?
I know. I mean,
but sure, she's with them every single day.
Right. Got it. Okay, excellent. So then, Casie, if you could only eat one food for the rest of your life, what would it be?
Okay, I would probably, I think a lot of people are going to be like, that's so boring, but I'm going to go with pizza because I love pizza.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite place to get pizza now? I need to know more.
Punch Pizza.
She's a Neapolitan girl.
I love it. I mean, I can do like Chicago deep dish, whatever pizza you want to throw at me, I'm good. I'm good.
Pizza, perfect. All right. Well, thank you both seriously so much for spending some time with us on the Falcon Dive. Rachel, I'm sure everyone watching right now is applauding you. Congratulations. It's amazing. Casie, thank you for being such a solid resource and support system for these animal science students. Is there any final notes either of you have for anybody that's watching?
I would just say we really look forward to having future Falcons in the Animal and Food Science department. We really dig our careers and we absolutely love our students.
They love you too! Excellent. All right. Thank you, everyone. We will catch you on the next one.